Welcome everybody to Medals and More. Over the past year, we've made significant progress. It hasn't always been easy, but every small step has reminded us why this journey matters. Our evening running program has continued to grow within the broader community. We've celebrated some encouraging successes, and perhaps more importantly, we've built a small but committed group of young athletes who continue to show up, learn and improve together. Our next goal is to grow that group into a consistent squad of 20 to 30 athletes who train together and support one another and develop not only as competitors but as leaders. We are fortunate to call St. Peter's College our training home. As a coaching team of 2, we're incredibly grateful for the school's willingness to provide facilities that allow this vision to become reality. At Fitness from Africa, we believe that developing athletes is only part of the mission. Our greater purpose is to develop people who will positively influence others long after the races have been run. That brings us to today's episode. Today's conversation isn't really about running, it's about leadership, and more specifically, it's about equipping leaders. One of the greatest examples of leadership in Scripture comes from King Solomon. When Solomon became king, he didn't ask God for wealth, he didn't ask God for power, he didn't ask for military strength or a long life. Instead, he asked for wisdom so that he could lead God's people well. That request pleased God, because Solomon's priority wasn't himself, it was serving others well. God responded by giving him wisdom beyond any other person of his time. As we continue reading through the early chapters of 1 Kings, we begin to see what wisdom actually produced. It produced organization, it produced capable officials, it produced peace, it produced prosperity, and eventually it produced the preparation for one of the greatest construction projects in biblical history, the Lord's Temple. One detail often gets overlooked. Solomon didn't build the temple alone. He surrounded himself with capable people. He organized responsibilities. He developed leaders. He trusted others with meaningful work. Great leaders understand something important. You cannot build great organizations without building great people first. That thought connected powerfully with something I've been reading in John Maxwell's book, The 4 Pillars of Leadership. In the chapter on equipping leaders, Maxwell describes equipping as an ongoing process of nurturing people rather than simply assigning tasks. That idea really stood out to me. Many organizations spend enormous amounts of time building systems, and very few spend enough time building people. Maxwell describes the ideal equipper as someone who can communicate the vision, evaluate potential, provide the necessary tools, and continue helping people throughout their journey. That description reminded me of Solomon. His leadership wasn't simply about making decisions. It was about creating an environment where others could succeed. Maxwell goes further by describing the 3 important roles every equipper plays. First, the equipper is a model. People learn more from what leaders consistently do than from what leaders occasionally say. As coaches, this challenges us. Our athletes don't only watch how we coach, they watch how we treat people, how we handle disappointment, how we solve problems, how we respond when things don't go according to plan. Consistency becomes one of the greatest lessons we teach. Secondly, the equipper is a mentor. Mentors share vision, wisdom, and experience. They shorten someone else's learning curve. Every athlete benefits from someone who has already traveled the road they're beginning. The same is true in business. The same is true in schools. The same is true in families. And finally, the equipper is an empowerer. An empowerer doesn't create dependence. An empowerer develops confidence. The goal isn't to make people need you forever. The goal is to help them become capable of leading others themselves. That's where the title of this podcast becomes so meaningful. Medals and More. Winning medals is wonderful. We celebrate success, We work hard for excellence, but medals eventually get placed in cupboards, display cases, or drawers. Character continues long after the applause has ended. The real legacy isn't the medal. It's the people we develop along the way. That's exactly what we're trying to build through our athletics program. Yes, we want athletes to run faster. Yes, we want personal bests. Yes, we want provincial and national representation. But beyond those achievements, we want to develop young people who become leaders in their schools, universities, workplaces, and communities. Imagine what could happen if every athlete we coach eventually became someone we invested in the next generation. That's how communities change. That's how schools grow stronger. That's how businesses become healthier. That's how nations develop. Leadership is multiplication. As we continue growing this program, we are looking for people who believe in that vision. Perhaps you're a parent looking for a positive environment for your child. Perhaps you're a school leader interested in developing student leadership through athletics. Perhaps you're a business leader who believes that investing in young people creates stronger communities. Or perhaps you're simply someone who believes that success should always be shared. If that's you, we'd love to connect with you. Our goal is to grow this program into a thriving community of committed athletes who learn not only how to compete, but how to lead. If today's episode has encouraged you, please share it with somebody who values leadership, education, coaching, or community development. Subscribe to the channel, follow the podcast on your preferred platform, and help us spread the message that success isn't measured only by what we achieve, but by what we leave behind in others. Because at the end of the day, medals are important, but what comes after the medal matters even more. That's what Medals and More is all about.